world of crap games, there can only be one worst. 30 enter, one reigns supreme of the Trash Heap. Everyone, tonight on the Trash Heap, 3 combatants fight to see who is the worst. And our lineup begins with Hailing from Russia, a side-scrolling arcade-style game from Ghost Rush, Africa Hunt. Hailing from America, a notorious Western shoot-'em-up from the notorious developer Digital Homicide, Wyatt Derp. Hailing from China, a strategic free-to-play that's still pay-to-win, War of the Three Kingdoms. Combatants ready? Begin! Ghost Rush is a notorious Russian developer that seems to just pump out shovelware after shovelware, and Africa Hunt is no different. This simplistic 2D arcade-style game tells you on a craft shooting a Kalashnikov at aircraft who are dropping bombs and packages. These packages, at first, are almost indistinguishable from the bombs in regards to gauging them as hostile actions, because you don't want to bump into them to kill your highest score. But if you experiment and play multiple times, you'll learn that these are friendly. The aircraft also suffer from a similar issue. The only one that's considered friendly is the one that flies closest to you. The other 2 are enemy aircraft, and the only one that seems to drop any hazardous ordnance is the military aircraft. But the highest one, I guess that's supposed to be some sort of drone. But it's limited settings and limited sound options. Like, the only thing you get here is the bass music that you're hearing now. No gun sounds, no aircraft sounds. But is it good enough to stay behind and be considered a better game than its other combatants? A famous developer, especially in 2014, Digital Homicide was notorious for banning people, filing lawsuits against Jim Sterling, and I think at least one other person. I'm not 100% on that, but amongst the shovelware they released, one of the ones that was kind of a sleeper was Wyatt Derp, and that's just surely because they were pumping out so much. This game does have some options, but its music plays during the pause menu. It also has a form of upgrade system that you can purchase things with using the gold you collect from killing enemies. It also has a unique feature, I want to say. It's honestly a bug where it's time-based rather than actually killing the enemies. So you can effectively just break the game and make it impossible. But does this make it fun or challenging enough to warrant staying behind and not passing deeper into the Trash Heap? There's only one way to find out. A Chinese card game. War of Three Heroes is free to play, yet from what I hear is a little bit play to win. And the way I think this works is that the specific characters give you certain cards, or at least certain decks. So you can use this to varying degrees. Now, if I spoke Chinese, maybe I'd be able to get a little bit more strategic in my in the gameplay, but since I couldn't understand the tutorial that was given to me, it's a little bit of a hindrance. I was okay in the gameplay here, which is as far as I could tell, against actual other players. Again, I wasn't sure because I've played similar games where the objective is to get rid of your hand as quickly as possible. But this one seems to be like so each card does different things, and the different values do different things as well. So if you do an attack action, if you had a higher value attack action, I think that could counter it. But again, without fully understanding the language, it's hard for me to tell. But from what I could see, at least there is some strategy here. But I have seen a lot of complaints about the pay-to-win aspects in the Steam reviews, and this is the worst rated game on Steam. But it does have waifu material, and is that enough? Our three combatants, Africa Hunt, Wyatt Derp, and War of the Three Kingdoms. Which is worse? Winner! Africa Hunt. While the pay-to-win aspect of War of the Three Kingdoms is a downgrade, it does still have functional strategy, and if you understand the language, a honestly probably reasonable tutorial. Wyatt Derp is also, even though despite its flaws, its bugs, you can turn those bugs into something that's a little bit more entertaining. Sometimes being able to mess around with a game system is fun, and I think the success of YouTubers such as the Spiffing Brit has shown that messing around with these things is entertaining. And I was having fun with this, even though knowing that essentially it's game over at that point. But Africa Hunt has the least going for it. It has the least sound effects. It's got the least options. It's got the worst. It's the worst in regards to recording. It's shovelware that's still sold, whereas Wyatt Derp is no longer exists because of the scumminess of digital homicide. But that's not taking into consideration of the quality of the individual game itself. And the War of the Three Kingdoms is a free to play, and honestly, you're probably not going to be spending money unless you're in China. So most of us on the West, if you do dive into this game, aren't going to be even remotely tempted to get further than about the first page of the tutorial. So Africa Hunt in this regards is the worst, just because it offers the least options, it has the least potential of gameplay, and it has the worst it has the worst sounds, so it's only got that looping audio as opposed to individual sound effects of the game. So the winner is Africa Hunt. Join me next time on the next episode of Trash Heap, where another 3 games will enter in a heated competition to find out which is the worst.